Chapter 7 is finally here, and I found the updated best settings controller players can use to dominate this new season. With these settings, you can have crazy piece control, fast mechanics, and ultra accurate aim while using all the brand new weapons. These settings will work for console or for PC. But first, if you're looking to build a PC or even upgrade, one thing that's helping me push these FPS numbers is this GPU. It's Gigabyte's GeForce RTX 5060 WindForce graphics card, which has this pretty unique hawk fan design that provides an elite cooling performance. The NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5060 GPU can push 100 plus FPS in your favorite games, and all GeForce RTX 5060 GPUs are powered by the game-changing NVIDIA Blackwell architecture and enhanced by revolutionary DLSS4 technology. To pick one of these up for yourself or learn more about them, I'll have the link for you in the description. Now these are your Chapter 7 controller settings. When you first open your game, you're gonna have a brand new setting pop up on your screen that's simple build, and I don't recommend this for anyone that wants to take the game serious. You only want to use this if you're a complete noob. By default, it's going to try to turn it on, so definitely make sure to toggle that off first. Now, we also want to see if there's any other new settings they tried to sneak in here, especially for us controller players. I even saw one thing that's going to nerf us controller players, but I'll get to that later. This first tab is for PC players only, so I play on full screen 1440p. I have a 500 Hz monitor, so I actually set my frame rate limit to unlimited, and that's all in performance mode with 150% brightness. I set my view distance to epic and everything else on low or off, but I like to see what my FPS is, and I have NVIDIA Reflex low latency mode turned on as well. Over to the audio tab, we still have all the main sound effects, okay, all the same stuff. Oh, okay, hit markers is different. So you have a legacy hit marker sound or a default hit marker sound. This will be personal preference, but let's set it to legacy just for fun for right now. Sound quality I have set to high, 3D headphones off, and I have visualized sound effects turned on. Now we get to the game tab, which is arguably just as important as your actual controller sensitivities are. So first of all, if you didn't know, you want to set your matchmaking region to whatever server you have the lowest MS in, so mine's central. All these movement settings are pretty much just whatever you prefer. I definitely recommend toggle sprint turned on. This means you just click the button instead of hold it to sprint. Auto open doors, I prefer to have that turned on. Down to combat, hold to swap pickup, I prefer turned on. Auto pickup weapons for controller players, I recommend us turning this on. This makes looting, and especially if you're trying to compete with a mouse and keyboard player with a scroll wheel trying to grab loot, then you can actually pick up items faster than their scroll wheel can with auto pickup turned on. It does kind of take some adjusting to try to get used to, but if you do have auto pickup turned on, you don't want to have any preferred item slots. You want to turn this setting off. Down to building, this is where the simple build setting will be. I showed you guys this at the beginning. This is a brand new setting, and unless you're a complete noob, like this is your first day on the game, you just want to have this turned off. However, reset building choice and turbo building you definitely want on. Simple edit is actually a lot better than simple build is. However, I still don't really think it's fun to play with. If you want to play with simple edit, go ahead, that's completely fine. I prefer to disable pre-edits on controller. I think it actually hurts controller players more than it helps us. A lot of times you just get stuck with pre-edited builds you didn't actually mean to pre-edit. Then auto confirm edits, this basically makes your edits and resets a lot faster. You only have to click 2 buttons instead of 3 buttons. So right now I have this set for both my editing and my resets. However, if you do use that 1 button reset that's over in your binds, that'll show you in just a sec. If you use that 1 button reset, then I do recommend only setting this to end. However, right now, I'm actually not using that 1 button reset, so I still have this set to both so I can still reset quickly. You get down to the extra game options. I really like tap to search and interact. I think it's a great setting for us controller players. And if you want the highest FPS and the lowest delay possible, then you'll want to turn off NVIDIA highlights if you're on a PC. Down even further than that is replays. Again, if you want the least amount of delay, the most amount of FPS, then turn off all of your replays. But personally, I have a crazy good PC, so I leave my replays on and it's completely fine. Down below that is the energy saving mode, and I like to set this to never because I hate when it automatically shuts my game off. Now we go over to the game UI, which the look of your HUD actually changed this season. They changed the sprint icon, they changed the elimination icon. So how all of this displays this season will actually be different. So you'll have to go and see what you prefer. Right now, this is still what I'm rocking with. 67% HUD scale is perfect for me. I have all of this on, and I have my net debug stats on so I can see my ping. Basically, the only 2 settings down here I've turned off is latency debug stats and creative runtime performance stats. The gyro aiming, if you're trying to be good at this game, I just recommend turning all of this completely off. And it looks like they actually moved the controller vibrations over to this tab. So the controller vibrations are now just called haptics, and personally, I like to have that turned off. I find especially in the longer range aim, having your controller vibrate can slightly throw off your aim. So you want to have that turned off. And then we can skip over these 2 mouse and keyboard tabs and get over to the controller sensitivities tab, which this will be so important important in this chapter. Like I said, we have all new weapons. So starting off, simple edit hold time. This setting does not matter unless you have simple edit enabled. So for the large majority of us, that's not going to matter at all. Slide hold time, I'm still keeping this at 0.065. Edit hold time, this also does not matter if you have a dedicated edit button, and I'll explain what that means in just a second when we get to my binds. The reset camera axis and reset camera time, these actually also don't matter unless you're using gyro aiming, but if you just want to have these on the default, set it to pitch in 0.1 seconds, and I guess this is also how you turn on the vibrations. So I guess there's two different vibrations for controllers now. That's weird. They have haptics and vibration feature, but again, both of these should just be turned off. Now we get to quick weapon, and even though we're into chapter 7 now, basically no one's using quick weapon. It's just not fast enough. It's not good enough. Just using your bumpers to switch between your loadout is still the fastest way. And of course, once we get down to the sensitivities tab, make sure use advanced options is turned on. This chapter, I'm actually moving up my build and edit multipliers to 2.1 on both of these. And by the way, if you have use advanced options turned on, whatever these two settings are up here does not matter. It doesn't matter if these are on 1, it doesn't matter if they're on 10. These are grayed out for a reason because we're using the advanced control. So the build multiplier, the edit multiplier, in the look sense this season, I'm going down to 41% on horizontal, 41% on vertical, and still using 0 boost on all my look sense. 41% is perfect for being a little bit more accurate with those hipfire aims, so hitting those max damage pump headshots. If you're jumping into someone's box and trying to spray them with the dual SMGs, this lower sense will be perfect for those situations. However, my ADS sense, I'm not actually changing. I'm still rocking 6% on horizontal, 7% on ADS vertical, and again, no boost whatsoever. However, I am going to move up my scope speed multiplier to 1.10 this chapter. There's a possibility that I even go higher on this because of the wingsuit. The wingsuit, people are going to be gliding around everywhere this season, and you move quick on that thing, so you want to have accurate ADS aim to be able to hit those shots. And actually, for the start of the chapter, I'm going to start with 1.20. That's what I'm going to rock with for now. If I need to adjust it a little bit, I will. But now we can go down. All of these settings are the best on linear. On exponential, these are going to feel really slow, really weird, so you definitely want to make sure to be on linear. Look damage time at 0 seconds, your aim assist strength all the way at 100%. And now for all the dead zones, I use 8% on both left and right stick, and I go 10% on my triggers, but, and this is an important note, I use mouse click trigger. So this is actually as far as my trigger goes down. So I can activate it super fast. So my trigger dead zone doesn't actually matter. I can set this on whatever amount and it won't matter because of these mouse clicks. However, if you use a controller with just a normal trigger that goes all the way down, I've seen most people go up to 40% on these. So you might need to adjust it to make sure it works for you, but I've seen this work well for a lot of good players. And this is a map that by the time you're actually seeing this video, this is going to be updated with all the brand new chapter 7 weapons and items. So the main way that good players actually get good at the season so fast is because they'll actually come into a creative map and basically learn all the brand new weapons. Every weapon will have a different amount of time between the fire rates. It'll have a different amount of time by the time you pull out and the time you can actually shoot it. So if you want to use this map to just free build around and practice with these new weapons, or even bring a friend into in 1v1, all you have to do is go over to the map discover tab and type in Carter 2K, and then make sure to favorite this map so you can use it throughout this chapter. And those are going to be some of the best settings you can get for this chapter. Make sure to subscribe if this video helped you, and click here if you want to watch another one of my videos. Thanks so much for watching.